Okay, so I feel like we've said as much positive as we could possibly say.
Good job.
Now
guys.
we can maybe
Good job,
talk
guys.
about the other half. Now, before we do that, Tyler Wolf, does that give us the opportunity to digress and finish off the madness that is the U.S. soccer soap opera?
Well, before we do that, do we want to talk about the actual preseason game? Like what you thought of the
we'll
Chattanooga?
get to that.
Oh, we're gonna get to
But
that.
that's when
we're
we
taking
go-
an intermission.
Yeah, we're taking an intermission
Yeah.
because, to be honest, that to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that only leads to the dark side, Mikey Dobbs.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't good. It's gonna lead right into So
Let's go negative, then real negative. Okay, I'm with you. All right. So for those of you who haven't been keeping up after the Gio Reyna hubbub with his parents and Greg Berhalter and all the back and forth, Greg Berhalter has an investigation still pending. He's still in the candidate pool for
we need like some music.
But meanwhile, Brian McBride actually, even well before the World Cup in October, had already made the decision not to renew his contract as the GM for U.S. Soccer.
Surely did.
Sure. But
I ain't heard nothing.
moreover, what does the GM do for U.S. Soccer, Dave? Do you have an idea?
Nothing, right? Because you don't buy and sell players for U.S.
Right.
soccer.
So is it, what is
Once you select the head coach, which is what Ernie Stewart did, and the whole incestuous mountaintop, right? So Berhalter's brother is in the organization. They ask him, to evaluate who might be the head coach. He talks to Berhalter. Berhalter says, I think Ernie Stewart would be the best general manager, right? When you're looking for the general manager, excuse me. Then, so Berhalter tells his brother, I think Ernie Stewart would be the best general manager. So they hire Ernie Stewart, and then Ernie Stewart turns around and hires Berhalter.
So now Ernie Stewart has also decided he's going to take a head coaching job, or what's his role at PSV?
No, he's a general manager.
General GM.
So he's like an administrative role at PSV. He's Dutch originally, so he played for the U.S. national team, but he was born in Holland. I think his father was a U.S. serviceman and his mother was Dutch.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So you've got Ernie Stewart, who's now going to PSV. You've got Brian McBride, who's not coming back. You have GGG, who they're just basically saying is still canon, but there's no way in hell there is less than a 1% chance.
Berhalter, you mean?
Berhalter is, Berhalter has less than a 1% chance of being rehired, in my opinion.
Yes.
And
not going to happen.
No.
Who in the hell is in charge now of picking?
Well, you missed the last head to roll.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, our friend over at Austin FC,
Claudio Reyna, sacked.
Gio's dad wasn't sacked. He was
sacked.
He was sacked.
Ernie Stewart sacked. Brian McBride sacked. Right?
Yeah.
Claudio Reyna sacked. Everybody who was involved with this went down. Everybody went down.
Everybody's going down.
Who else do we got to take down? Who's next?
I don't know. They all went
left?
down. There's nobody left.
I don't think there's anyone left to go.
Yeah, Danielle doesn't actually have a official job, right?
But mom job. I don't know. Can we take that from me?
Now, is it a big deal, in your opinion, that we get a head coach signed before what date?
Oh, I don't think there's much pressure at all, right? In terms of the date. And, people say, oh, we got to this and that, I got to build or whatever. But, whoever we hire, as we've talked about, doesn't have to qualify. So whoever we hire is going to be the head coach of the U.S. national team for the World Cup when we're playing at home, right? And that is still years away.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, we need enough time to have a lead up to that tournament, but that's an awful long time, right?
Right.
So I don't think, I don't think that we should dilly-dally and, drag it out. I think last time it was a catastrophe. They dragged it out for basically a year, and then they only ever interviewed Berhalter. That's the crazy thing. Ernie Stewart claimed he did an exhaustive search. He interviewed all these people, and they said, oh, yeah? Give me a name. He throws out a name, Pareja. They go to Pareja. They said, what did you think not getting the job? He's like, I was never interviewed.
Tata Martino was like, they never reached out to me because
Exactly.
my English wasn't good.
His
Well,
English wasn't
evidently,
good.
the Atlanta United player said his English was pretty darn good when it needed
So
to be.
Berhalter recommended Ernie Stewart. Ernie Stewart hired Berhalter without doing nothing. And anybody in HR will tell you, you hire someone with no search,
Not good.
that's not good.
Not good.
So you've got to replace Stewart, right? Before you get the head coach job sorted. Right?
Presumably.
No, you have to.
I think so, because he's the one who's supposed to hire him, right?
Right. I mean,
I agree.
like Ernie Stewart can't appoint the next coach and then he's out. I mean,
although he's not actually out yet. And, we're just that crazy. You could see him making an appointment and then leaving. Right? It could happen. That would be madness. It would be absolutely madness.
Well, then if that were to happen, who in their right mind would take his job? Right?
If you're offered the U.S. national team coach job, you'd probably take it because, look, I'm going to be the coach for the World Cup.
I take it.
Take it.
Why not?
Yeah, I
Why
take
not?
it. Then
Who
I'd
cares?
probably fire that guy and go right back to the drawing board.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, so yeah, I agree with you. You got to figure that they're hiring a GM first. And then presumably that would be that GM who would do the search.
Yeah. U.S. men's national team didn't look so great.
No. I mean, it was a very young whatever team, but no.
Didn't look fantastic.
To be honest, it was a late game, the first one, and I didn't stay up to watch it. I only watched the highlights.
Yeah. It was the second one was
It
kind
was
of
10 o'clock, the first one.
I remember the second one being a little bit of a snooze fest, but I was
Yeah,
kind of
Columbia.
It
passively
was
watching, and I don't remember a lot of excitement.
nothing exciting happened. 0-0 draw.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yada, yada, yada.
Well, let me ask y'all this.
There's no yada, yada, yada in the
Yada,
Columbia
yada.
game. No,
I know,
just kidding.
I know. But here's my question. Berhalter, is there a reason he's not just resigning at this point?
He doesn't have to resign. He's gone. They didn't renew his contract.
Yeah,
So they
he's-
either have his
Oh.
contract ran out. So he either has to be
Oh.
renewed or nothing.
But-
So are we even investigating anymore? Like, what are we
I don't
investigating?
see why.
But yeah, I guess reframe your question. Why doesn't he just take his name out of the candidate
Yeah.
pool?
Like, just
At this
go.
point?
Just be like, it's been throw the deuces.
Because
it's
he
been
still
fun.
wants to be coach and he still has a chance. It's so incestuous. The general manager is, I don't know, 70, 80% likely to be a former U.S. national team player. And he could turn around and be like, screw it. We did an investigation. It was 30 years ago. He's fine. Berhalter.
There's no.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it. I think that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, I don't.
But,
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
again.